I was on a roll and I realized this shit wasn't recorded and I got fucking bad. Okay, I want to talk about safe spaces. I'm not going to tell the story I told before because I just it's redundant. But I feel like this generation we coddle each other too much. Do I feel like there's a need for a safe space? Yes. I'm gonna be honest with you. You do need a safe space. You do need people around you that you can count on and depend on and all that other stuff. But I also feel like there's times you need to jump out of that safe space. There's times where you do need to be uncomfortable. There's times where like you need to be lost and you don't know what you're doing and find your way back. I feel like I like all that we need as people, and I think a lot of these people are understanding this. I guess, but at the same time, a lot of people are doing being caught because I've always said the thing about allies is like, do they really know your struggle? They can only sympathize so much, but they got their own struggle. Now, don't get me wrong. Look, I'm gonna tell you this, and I hate to all lives matter this shit, but I'm going to all lives matter this shit. Everybody has a fucking struggle, B. Everybody got their own fucking struggle. All right, it's like it doesn't matter if you're rich or poor or black. But everybody has their own fucking struggle that make them the person that they are. Like you're going to go through some type of struggle, and it's going to mold you into the person that that you want to be. You're going to go through trials and tribulations. Do I feel like we try to prevent that a lot? Where I feel like no, you should like a bird. Like imagine like I'm getting all my words mixed together. I look at it as a bird, mother bird pushing their young out of the nest so they can fly. It's scary. It's really fucking weird. But as soon as but they once they know that they have to flap their wings just to get the fly, they learn this shit. It's a lot. I feel like with these safe spaces, okay, it's cool. We have these safe spaces. Even as black people, we need our safe spaces. But if you stay in this safe space, you're only going to know what's in them four corners. You're not going to know what's outside the world. And I feel like even if with black people, we have our safe space, but we don't really. A lot of people, I don't think a lot of people don't know what other races do. Now, me, I've been in the Navy, and I tell you that usually when I hear this argument from black folks, is like, oh, white people don't do this to their women, or other races don't do this shit to their women and all that other stuff. And I'm like, y'all don't really look at other people's struggle. You only care about your own. Now, black people, our struggle, like, yes, we should care about our struggle, but at the same time, it's just like I've also said this with women, like you don't like to be looked at sex objects. Spanish women don't like being looked at sexual objects. Asian women, they have a problem looking at this. You know how like black women is always the strong, you know, like they always play one role of black women. They're tired of it. You know how many Spanish women tell you they're trying to be like this sexual deviant person, or how much them Asian women they talk endlessly about being a submissive. Yes, oh yes, Hamasa, or oh yes, Hamasa. And being real submissive and all that other stuff. It's like every fucking body has they struggle. And like I said, I hate the all lives matter that shit, but for this one, I got to all lives matter this shit. Like I hear like one of the things I used to hear the most about, oh, white men don't treat their white women like this, or the way the disrespect and the way the black man disrespects black women. You don't see white men disrespect. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? The Irish was known to smack their wives. I said we have to think twice before. I tell people all the time, but I think we got to think twice before we even think about hitting. It's like don't let that dance with the stress shit fool you. I said white like white man. This is like or just like they ride for they women. You know how many times I done been to other white YouTubers? I go like I follow a lot of white YouTubers. You know how much they talk about Twitch stats? I'm not throwing out no names out there. Y'all, whoever y'all think is a Twitch stats, yes, they talked about it. But you know how many times these white male YouTubers have talked about these Twitch stats and how like how privileged and these YouTubers talked about how privileged you are. That all you gotta do is show your fucking tits, and these simp ass dudes, will throw you money and all that other stuff. It's like you profit. It's like you tell people you profit off. You know how many times like when I was working and the guy will like they talk about this one thing, hey, she a fucking slut, dude. And the white dudes will talk about the other white women, and they'll talk about the other one. She a fucking slut, dude. I remember this one girl was getting, and I probably said this before. I've heard, girls that, work their ass off and all that other stuff. Like, literally work their ass off. They worked hard and all that stuff, did the right thing. And other white people be like, I bet she sucked dick for it. It's, it, like, like, y'all know the story of Mulan. Do you know how fucking strict, do you know how strict the Muslims is with their women? They have to walk around in fucking garbs. Like, you can't even see their face. You can't even, like, go to Dubai. They have to tell us you can't look at them women in the eyes. I was told you can't look at these women. You can't look at them. The fucking Asians, they always have to be submissive to their man and some shit like that. I said, and we tell black men are telling black women, it's like, what? We're probably the only race where like it's really led by matriarchy. It's like every. Do y'all really? This is why I want people to venture out. And hell, I even want you to get out the hood. Black women I understand. Here's the thing about black women. I understand, and I say this many a times. I understand you don't feel like you're getting fought for, but at the same time, and this is gonna get me dragged. Have y'all ever really like listened to yourselves? Have y'all ever seen them videotapes? Let me let's put some examples out there. Bus driver uppercut. That man was trying to do his job. The woman spits on him and hits him and like doing all this shit that could have dated not just him, but a bunch of people in his drink. And he goes, and he had to park the car and uppercut the bitch and throw her off because she was acting unruly. I know a couple, like, I know a brother of mine is just, I, I watched my brother, like, literally, like, he was trying to get his shit, his baby mama was giving him fits. Like, she was trying to fight him and all that other stuff. And then called the cops on him and they act like she was the one being abused. My brother used to like go through it with his baby mama where she used to harass him every fucking day. Like it got to a point where she was crazy and all that other shit. And that's about the most information you get out of that. I've seen I've seen girls. There's little videos of like women getting in dude's face, and he's like, "Back up off me," and dudes is just like, "Yo, back up off me, back up off me," and then there are women that's just like, just getting in dude's face and all that other stuff, and then like you push him to the point where the nigga snap and reacts, and then like either body slams you or just give you a two piece and knocks you the fuck out. Let's like we're a broke. I say this all the time. We're a broken community, and like we don't know how to fix each other. But this is why I also said everybody is accountable in this community. No one is listening to nobody. Everybody is accountable to something, right? I don't want to like I don't want to sound like a broken record, but everybody, like I said, everybody's accountable for something. But I encourage everyone to get out of their safe space and venture the world. And it's like, oh, they go through some shit too. It's like even the white women. I said it's like I'm not defending white women, but I know some white women. It's just like some of the white people's problem is I'm not racist. So like, or a lot of them white people, a lot of white people probably is like, I'm not racist. It's just like I fuck with black culture like real heavy, but I'm not trying to appropriate. I'm trying to celebrate, and look at them as racist and all that other stuff. But some of them don't understand the history of it. So when you got to educate, so where us as black people, we got to educate on the history of why is it wrong and all that other stuff. So you obviously understand it and learn. A lot of you, but but I feel like once you get out of your safe spaces, and this is go for anybody, like you will understand, some of the shit that you will understand some of the shit that's going on. Sometimes it might be even bigger than race. Some problems are just bigger than race. Some of it is just classism and all that other stuff. Um, what is another thing? And I think I want to talk about this because I've been getting into like debates and like this is just this is all for the personal thing. I want to understand the LGBT plight. It's Pride Month, and it's actually it's almost over. June is almost over. Let's just say black. And I said this before. Black Lives Matter took over Pride Month. Yes, I'm starting with, but our troubles, and it's a lot of I bet you there's a lot of gay white men that felt like, yo, this is our month. We get it. Black Lives Matter, blah, 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 blah. And this is why I tell people, yes, there are racist people in the LGBT too. They try to hide it, but they're not really good at it. After a while, like this whole month, like LGBT got a whole month dedicated to them, and yet it was taken over by black, you know, of fucking black protesters and black people marching and all that other stuff. Like black people took over Pride Month. Let's be real. Let's be real. Like, it's like so they're trying. Like I used to say this like last year is like at the beginning of the week whatever logo or whatever fucking store or joint on Twitter they used to change their handle to like the rainbow like Twitter had Rainbow Twitter and like it supported LGBT. I remember I think Nike did it. It supported LGBT and all that other stuff. Now, if you call it pandering or not, no. But I remember they used to do it for Pride Month. In celebration of Pride Month, they'll just put this shit in rainbow, and that was just good enough for people and all that stuff. But I've been getting I've been getting a lot of debates about our trans women and all that other stuff. And this is a theory of mine because I had to look up, everybody looked at there was about at least 300. I think it was like the FBI said it was about 300 killings. Out of 105 was like anti-LGBT hate crimes. If I'm correct, I'm just trying to remember the stats. And the other thing is, they had like three examples. They had like three different examples. One was like they found their date on Grinder. One was someone found out that they was trans and they killed them and all that other stuff. And the other one was, some of them had their image. So it had me thinking because a lot of trans people, because before the whole thing was just Black Lives Matter, and then all of a sudden it just started as like Black Trans Lives Matters and all that other stuff. Now I it had me thinking do people really care about trans? Because the trans community, I've seen it said no one cares about the trans community, and I was thinking to myself, they're probably right. This is like if you're looking at the jokes about the trans people, and it's my theory is I said this. It was like no one, and I said this. No one cares about the trans community, even their allies. And that's my hot take. No one cares about the trans community, even though they're allies. Yes, they go through this shit. You can look at them as human beings as you want to, but nobody really cares about them. There was 30 murders, and I don't know if any of them was solved. I don't know how many of them were solved. I was trying to look up, and I was literally looking up how many trans murders were solved, and like what happened was specifically. I couldn't really find it. Now I can try to go deeper, but there wasn't a lot of information on it. So it did seem like in their mind, yes, no one cares. That's why like they're popping up everywhere. It's like no one cares about trans lives and all that and stuff. I said I'm looking at the back and it's like, yeah, they have a point. I don't even think they're allies because let's be real. And there's a and this might, you know, offensive trans people, but this is why I said we need to have uncomfortable conversations. And this is go back to the safe spaces. We need to jump out the safe space, have these uncomfortable conversations, see what other people are doing and all that other stuff. There's a lot of and trans, especially the trans women, the ones that are born male and then they transition to women. Let me tell you something. This is you believe you're a woman. It's like you're and whatever you like. You could be a man for like 30 years, but once you change over to the woman, you're a woman and all that other stuff. You can have that. You can do you. And this and like men, we tell you this all the time. Do you, boo boo? If that's what makes you happy, you transition over to a woman. Fucking Bruce Jenner went to Caitlyn Jenner. It was like all that other stuff. Like we don't. And as far as me being a straight black man, I listen, and I'm telling you this. I've listened. I've assessed it. I even looked up research. I still think trans women are men, and this is where the whole gray area because you got there are some straight men that do think trans men are women, but you got people like Flame Monroe, and I'm pretty sure there's other people that think like Flame Monroe who is trans. They say, "Oh no, I'm a nigga inside this body" and all that other stuff. That gray area, and this is where it get all messed at because to me, that's where it get all messed at. This is where all the confusion come from and all that other stuff. Because if a trans person is telling straight people, you should check Malik Yoba, who believes he's trans, who he believes he's a straight man, even though he's had sex with or been attracted to, or he's attracted to trans women and all that other stuff. And everybody looked at him like it's confusing. It's that gray area that is just like I don't fucking get and all that other stuff. And it's just like, what are we supposed to follow? Because my beliefs, I'm not going to, and I'm speaking for myself here. I think trans women are men, so I'm not going to suspend my belief. And this is coming from a guy that just watched 2 seasons of Pose, and I think Pose is one of the best shows on TV. And I do feel like you're as human beings, you should have your rights. And I'm trying to tell you this out front so people won't misconstrue me. I want you to have your fucking rights. And like the people that the murdering trans people, I hope people get you catch those criminals, and because it's really like you shouldn't be living in fear like that. I'm saying this as a straight black man. Excuse me, but I do believe you're a man. So like there's just we I just looked at a story about the dude named I think his name is Orlando Perez, and he murdered a 37-year-old transgender woman. All that stuff, and not he just and the way it was like I read the story. Not only read the story, I looked in the news. It was just like the nigga he left, then he went back, killed her, then left, went back, shot her some more times, and then left again and came back and then shot him some more times and all that other stuff. Like the 17-year old, no, I'm sorry, the 18-year old boy snapped, or 18-year-old adult snapped because I do think you're 18, you're an adult. I know people like to say 18-year-old boy, but He is an adult. He's going to get tried, and he's going to get tried as an adult. They already got him arrested and all that other stuff. So, and I seen the comments from the trans community because a lot of them were trans. It was like, oh, he probably knew already all that other stuff. So it's like, was he gay or was he? And this is the gray area because it's the because the old saying was if you sleep with a man, you're gay. Now it's like you can sleep with a man, but you cannot like it, so you can still consider yourself straight, or that other stuff where it's just like what the fuck is going on. A lot of us are confused. It's just okay. What are we riding with? Because I can think, and I've said this. Watching Pose, there's a couple of them that I'm not gonna lie. They look. You couldn't tell they were men. Lulu, that is one of them. Um, Electra, she got man features. Dominic, she has man features, but you can tell like, and plus she's like 6 foot something. She could wait. She looked like she could be a basketball player. She wasn't. I'm not trying to be funny, but phenomenal actress though. But there was a couple of trans people in there that was just like they was born man and they transitioned over and they looked like women. Like you couldn't tell. It was like if you showed them a picture, you're like, and I know some dudes be friendly like, nigga, I could have told that was a man. Nah, some dudes you be like, nah, you look smack dab like a woman. So you was like, cause some dudes like, um, look at their hands, like, or look at their hands, or look at their feet, and some shit like that. And I only know one trans person, and like I remember looking at her, it was like something weird about it. And then once I realized that was a man, it was just like, or she was she was born a man. I was like, but I was still kind to that person. Like every time I saw her, I gave her a hug and all that other stuff. I was kind. I had conversation. Cool person. Cool, cool. She's cool. Hell, even though I think trans. Hell, I'm even to a point where even though I don't think trans women are women, I will call you a she. I will call you her. Because but do I really think that would I date you? No. Would I have sex with you? No. Am I attracted to you? No. But I still want you to live your life. I don't want to disturb your flow or your vibe. And you shouldn't even give a fuck what I think about anyway. If you're living your life and you're happy, be happy. My words shouldn't like I tell people all the time, my words shouldn't but I don't. But anyway, I do not think. But I think me being honest with you is more real than your allies or your friends, that try to hype you up and all that other shit. Because let's be real. I think as a trans person, you should tell somebody that I think you should tell somebody that you was born a man and all that other stuff. I do feel like you should tell them you was born a man. Now if they fucks with now if they fucks with you, that's on the other end. But if they don't, you know, that go about your business. Go about your business. And that's how I always felt. Now, if that person decides to fuck with you, is he gay or is he straight? Some people will think he's gay. Like the straight community will probably think he's gay. The LGBT community will tell you it's complicated. And the trans community, they think they women. It's like, no, this is a heterosexual relationship. But is it really? So this is where all the gray area comes in. And like my beliefs is contradicting with your beliefs, and it's just like I have to either conform to your beliefs, which I don't want to do, or you have to conform to our beliefs, which you don't want to do. So it's this big old fucking conundrum between this fucking straight community, straight men community, and the fucking trans community about what is what. And I feel like that will always be there because we don't have a clear distinction of what's going on. So the thing is, like, and I tell the women and the men, even if you have a good idea, somebody is going to poke holes into it. Like we're going to try to poke holes into it. And how much do you really believe your bullshit? If you believe, and if you're 100% believe that your thing is like 100% proof and all that other stuff, you should be able to back it up and all that other stuff. So like you should be expecting these questions. Not only that, like knowing that they're going to ask them before they even ask them, you should already have the answers. I tell this to people all the time. You should already have the answers before they even ask the question. A lot of people don't, and a lot of people like yes, they feel like, but you don't really feel like questions. So even when men was like, we're trying to understand, you're getting frustrated, but it's just like it's like I'm trying to understand, so I won't offend you, and it gets to that point where it's just like, sir or madam or whatever the fuck, I'm not trying to offend you. I'm just trying to know where I'm just trying to understand. So we could go be on an even basis and all that other stuff. But when you get frustrated, it's like, how you think I feel? It's like I still even confused. Someone said they was non-binary trans, and some dude was like, "What?" And then when he looked it up, he was just like, I have more questions than I had. That was the problem I had with that Malik Yoba interview when he brought the people in. I left with more questions than I had. Excuse me. So, in conclusion, because I think this is like I didn't mean to go this long, but at the same time, it's just like I'm having these thoughts. Um, in conclusion, sometimes you need to step out of your. I feel like you need to step out of your safe space. It's cool to have them. You need to have a place where you can call home. You need to have a place where like people you know and trust, and you feel protected and all that other stuff. But sometimes I feel like in order for you to be a better person, you need to jump out of your safe space. Know about the other cultures and all that stuff. To me, I know where my safe space is, but I will definitely always like try to go out to where. To me, that's why I said Navy's one of the best experience because you're around people that you don't like and that you some around people. I was around people not only that I didn't like, I hated. I was around people that it was like racist. I was not pers- um not my HT division per se. I had a problem with one dude in HT division. I'm pretty sure everybody knows who that person. If they know me, they know who that person is. I had a problem with one dude. Other than other than that, it's like my division and it was full of white people. That's my family, and I would tell anybody I was blessed to be in that division. I was blessed to be in HT. I was blessed to be on HT on the Truman and all that other stuff around those people. That's my family right there. But other than people outside, like the people I had to deal with outside the AC division, a couple of them were racist, a couple of them was like real iffy, a couple of them was real awkward, and it's just like, ugh. And you just kind of like disgust and all that stuff. It's like, and some of them were like outrank you, so you had to like listen to them. It's like outside of this, I wouldn't respect you. And outside, and like some of them, they had real smart mouths, especially some of the chiefs. One thing about the Navy, I wish you could like punch a chief in the fucking mouth and get away with it. Because some of them, they needed a punch. But I understand, like, I have a smart mouth too. Like, I almost got into a fight with a couple of higher ups when I first got there. And hell, almost got into a damn, I thought I was about to get into a damn fight with a chief because my mouth couldn't run too. But anyway, the the in conclusion, I feel like you should have your safe space, but you need to sometimes take that adventure, go out of the safe space. You need to be comfortable, uncomfortable. We need to be uncomfortable. We need to be um, lost at sometimes. I feel like it makes us stronger people when we do. It's like I could I could easily discard I could easily discard anything trans. Like A person like me shouldn't even be watching Pose. I tell people all the time, I love that show Pose. I shouldn't be watching Pose. Me as a straight black man, like I was telling my sisters, like how much I like the show, and they both looked at me as like, I'm surprised you didn't even watch that show. I said, I know, like I get it. Like I get it. I'm a straight black man. Like why would I be interested in a bunch of transgender people in their life? But the story is really good, and I was really invested um, in the LGBT. Shout outs to Billy Porter. He was like Pray Tell is one of my favorite characters. Um, but yeah, you need to step. I feel like everybody needs to step outside of it, like understanding what's going on. And this especially goes to white people because white people, y'all definitely don't know what the fuck is going on and why like black people are the way we are right now. Like tune in, also tune in because the grapevine, and I don't know if they're gonna put it on YouTube or not, but basically they're discussing the plight between between black men and black women, and I think it's gonna be interesting. But y'all already know my answer to that. Nobody is listening to anybody. Soon as that show is over and I get to watch that, y'all going to hear my thoughts about it. So I cannot wait. When I tell you I can't wait, I cannot wait. Till then, my name is Oskino Fly, and I'm out. Peace.